The Times. Catalan president faces 30 years prison sentence. If you can't see now that that is a dictatorship, just like we've got over here, then your eyes are shut, wide shut. May urge to take control of Parliament sex pest row. So the head paedophile is going to take charge of the sex pest row in Parliament. Yeah, well, that's how they do things over here, isn't it? You know, you put the paedophiles in charge of the paedophile investigation, and surprisingly they find there's no paedophilia. Wow, you couldn't make it up, could you? Whitehall IT chief joined Amazon after $4.8 million deal. More evidence of corruption in Parliament. What you do, you know you're going to leave, so you do a deal for a company, in this case Amazon, so they make a load of money, they hire you, you get a good kickback. Should be made illegal, unlawful, but of course it never will be, because they're all in it together. Star. British jihads get free council house. Fury at bribe given to terrorists. This is more divide and conquer. We know we've got thousands of our own on the streets, men, women and children. So this will just drive people more mad, thinking, why give it to them when we've got men, women and children on the streets? Don't believe a word of it. This is just divide and conquer bull. Something about a supermodel, the paedophile cow, second no-show. Maybe he's worried that he's going to get found out for his paedophilia. Telegraph. May will sack any sex pest ministers. What about the paedophiles that you're one of? Yeah, nothing's going to happen there, as we know. Obviously Hamilton, again, he's world champion. And over on the left there, extremists may get council house property, more divide and conquer. That's all this sort of stuff is. Don't pay any attention to it. Well, pay attention to it, but don't let it affect you or get you, because that's what it's designed to do. This is how they manipulate the population into doing what they want. Down the bottom there, Hammond, NHS must save to fund pay rise. Well, how about we take the fact that you lot, politicians, vote your own pay rises in. Oh, and you're going to be very careful there. You're not going to vote too much, are you? Of course they will. They'll vote themselves whatever they like. So how about we put someone in charge? Put me in charge of their pay rises, and guess what? They'll be getting a pay cut of 70, 80%. But of course that would never happen, because they don't want anything fair and just and whatnot. Next to that, Catalan MP defies dismissal. Well, of course they should. They want autonomy, and they should be allowed autonomy. But the dictators in Spain, it's just like dictators in the UK, France, Germany, Belgium, everywhere, don't want to allow it. Metro. The number 10 sleaze briefings, and a picture of the top paedophile there. May gets weekly update on claims about MPs. She's urged to reveal any sex abuse allegations. She won't do that. Unless it gets to the point where she's becoming endangered, in which case they may throw a few MPs to the wolves, but she's the main one. And all the rest of them on the cabinet, because they're all involved. All of them are involved. Don't you believe it for a second that they're not. They get to these positions after they've got themselves into a position where they can be blackmailed. That's how they get to that position of so-called power. 10p. Readers join our fight to slash aid budget. Oh, so it's there you go, is it? I doubt that very much. Prisoners to get the vote in huge climb down. Now, I'm sure this was in the paper a couple of days back as well, so why it's in again, I don't know. But again, this is because, like I was saying then, the number of normal adults that are not going on the voters register and not voting is getting so low that the government's legitimacy is under threat, so they're going to try and get you onto that voters register any way they can. They don't give two hoots whether you vote or not. As I've said many times before, it makes no difference whether you vote or who you vote for. The decisions have already been taken and made, and you voting just makes you feel like you're taking part in some sort of the voting process when you're not. You're just there to facilitate the dictatorship that is. Stay married to halt dementia. Close relationships cut risk by 60%. I'm surprised that's in there, and even more surprised it's on the front page, because generally the papers try and destroy the home and family relationships. Times, Catalonia's first day of direct rule puts Madrid authority to the test. They're gonna push this as hard as they can. They're gonna do the best to stop it. Whether they'll stop it or not, probably, because don't forget they've got the police and the army to fall back on. And over there you've got EU nations will lack custom officers needed to cope with a no-deal Brexit. Utter fake news. What difference is it going to make if some of us go to Spain, for instance, on holiday? What difference is it going to make if there's no deal in Europe for the EU non-Brexit that's not going to happen between now and a no deal? No difference whatsoever. This is utter no news, fake news. Mail. Horrible Halloween histories. Or horrible histories Halloween. Well, if you look into Halloween, it's a satanic celebration anyway, so anyone celebrating it, especially with your kids, gee, you've got to have something mentally wrong with you, or you've just not done your research. Commons sex pest turmoil. Up to 13 MPs face accusations. PM demands new conduct rules, but critics warn against comparisons to Weinstein. Yeah, because they don't want to be classed as paedophiles, even though they're either already are, or they're one step away from being it, and then catching up with those on the cabinet themselves who are paedophiles. And more about the paedophiles. Jagger, 74, has fling with film producer 22. You make of that what you will. My mind's made up what that's all about. Guardian. MPs fear more sleaze claims will emerge. Well, what a shock that is. May calls for action to protect staff as Minister Adult admits sex toy accusations. So they want more stuff to protect them, the paedophiles, the sex pests. We need to end the government. The government is the problem. The government are and always have been the problem. They are the dictators, the controllers. Just because they've been doing it covertly doesn't make them any different from the fact that in Spain it's coming out in your face dictatorship. Again, Hamilton, world champion. Catalan is present, facing jail, Spain warns. Yeah, because they're going to put everyone in jail that doesn't do as they're told. If you're not a good little slave, they're going to lock you up. That's in this country just as well as that country. In fact, they brought out, they're bringing out legislation, not law, legislation, that if you watch stuff on the internet that you shouldn't watch, well, you're going to be locked up for 15 years or some crap like that. They're worried because they can see the dictatorship is collapsing around them. It's being exposed at every level, and we need to stand up now and end this evil dictatorship we're all in every country pretty much of the world. Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings.